It started, like most things in 2025, with a video on TikTok. Not a product shot, not a sales pitch, but a clip of a girl laughing in line, phone tilted up, eyes catching the glow of the neon signage. In Toronto, it was Sephora's Shimmer Studio, a makeup experience built inside a concert arena, timed to Taylor Swift's Eras Tour. Fans lined up for hours, not for seats, but to get the festival-grade glam and leave with stories, selfies, and swipe-ups. In Indianapolis, it was the Google Pixel House at the NBA All-Star Game. Photo booths, custom courts, nighttime parties. People came for basketball, and they left having lived inside the brand. And then there was Vita Coco, setting up surprise vending machines on Valentine's Day in Washington Square Park in New York City, giving away drinks and capturing hearts, one viral video at a time. This wasn't advertising. It was an experiential world building designed for maximum feed velocity.
How much do you guys think this vending machine costs?
$400?
$25,000.
Across industries, something wild is happening. Brands are ditching ads for architects, trading commercials for creative directors for a space, hiring fragrance designers, AR programmers, and yes, people who specialize in building camera-friendly rituals. In Miami, Chanel skipped Billboards and built a dome, a 9-room sensory tunnel at Art Basel. No products pushed, no hard sells, just an immersive scent journey that hijacked everyone's feed before they even left the first room. At the NBA All-Star Game, Google didn't run ads. They built the party, the multi-room pixel playground that at every moment was recordable, postable, and shareable, and people lived inside the campaign. This is what we're calling the Disneyland Effect. It isn't just about foot traffic anymore. It's about feed traffic. Every surface, every scent, every QR code engineered for one goal: to make you the billboard, to make you the media company, to make the customer the advertisement. Because in 2025, attention doesn't just go to the highest bidder. It gravitates to the most immersive world. A product is now a souvenir. A sale is now a side effect. The goal? To make you feel something. Enough to post, enough to share, enough to remember, enough to make you feel. And when brands build these mini Disneylands, people don't just talk about them. They enter them. They live them. And most importantly, they document themselves living in them. Because after all, if you don't document it, it didn't happen in 2025. In 2025, the best brands don't just ask you to pay attention. They invite you into a world you can't wait to post from. This is The Art of Commerce, and this is what we're going to talk about today. So let's get into it.
The Art of Commerce is a podcast featuring conversations on creativity and conversions. Hosted by Anish, a data-obsessed creative director, and Jinx, a growth-obsessed CMO. Listen on for actionable insights for the modern marketer.
No, excellent. Jinx! Disneylandification for a girl. So the Disneyland style of marketing. That sounds outlandish, but as someone who's just been to Disneyland recently,
I have.
Tell us what commonalities do you find in experiential marketing and the whole Disneyland experience? And let's start from there.
Yeah, I mean, I posted about this, and I'll recap it. I mean, I'm not a Disney adult. I have no problem if you are, like, by all means.
First Labubus and now Disney.
I know,
Age.
exactly. This podcast is really transforming me. No, but when you go there, and I had the luxury of going there with my 5-year-old daughter, which is just a beautiful thing to witness. I mean, you just are struck by the attention to detail and the way they scale that attention. I mean, we've talked about it before that, you know, as with Apple, Disney has a lot of money. They can do a lot of things. They can do, you know, so, but the thing for me that you can pull as a mere mortal is, how do I have this level of dedication and focus to the details? And then how can we scale that, you know, in our own environments, right? How do we scale the ability to bring delight, to bring joy, right? Which is what Disney does. And it's from the top to the bottom, it's amazing to witness. And so then when you bring that to kind of immersive experience, and we're calling it Disneylandification of these experiences. Like that's what it's about, right? It's about the little details. It's about creating a moment that a customer or a viewer or whatever comes in and is just totally enthralled that they have to post it. And it goes back to something when we talked about Labubu's, right? What they've done a great job is making a customer walking advertisement. That's essentially what these experiences are doing. Customers come in, or viewers come in as normal people, and they leave as walking advertisements, which is amazing.
That's true. Life is so overwhelming with all the ads that if your brand can give me an experience which is so different from everything else that's outside, you're adding intrinsic value to my life beyond your product. It's not just a sales pitch. It's a feeling which I walk away with that leaves a positive impact. So maybe the next time I experience a problem in my life, which your product can solve for, I'll think of you.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's funny. It's we've talked about it. We joked about it. Vibes, right?
Vibes.
But I mean, you peel it back, right? The vibes are in the details, right? The vibes are in listening to customers. What do they want? We talked about that in Stanley, right? It's using the vibes are in the ecosystem. We talked about that with Apple. This is episode, what we're talking about here is all about the attention to details. And every little detail becomes a vibe to the customer that they want to post about, they want to talk about, they want to be advocates for, right? And that's what you see in really great experiential. I mean, it's not we always talked about it at Sling in a little bit of a different way, where partners always wanted to come and wanted us to have our team go to an event and I would promote, and I said, well, we're not here to hand out Sling coupons, right? Like, I mean, Red Bull can hand out Red Bulls, right? We can't do that, right? Yeah. As a technology brand. So the way we thought about it was actually the experiential part should be in promotion of some maybe content partnership, or like, for example, a channel launch or content launch, right? Because then I'm talking about something that's related to the people that are there. I'm engaging them, but I'm also laddering back to the brand that's relevant. It's not just Sling is at the NBA All-Star Game because it's Sling's at the NBA All-Star Game and we're launching an NBA channel and right? And so that's what the best kind of experiential does. To your point, it immerses you. It's there, you're living it. You're able to post about it, but there's a connection back to what the brand is saying, what the brand is doing. It's not just experiential for experiential's sake.
Like a piece about the attention to detail makes me think about how every single part of that experience can be and has to be an extension of your brand. Like if your brand is all about magic, do the lights, sounds, the surfaces, do they evoke a sense of magic? The things that happen there, the elements that are part of that experience are laddering up to what your brand promises, and that can sort of make or break it.
Yeah, and that's right. And I love what you said about magic, because to the viewer, to the visitor, whatever you want to call it, it feels magic, but it's very calculated, right? It's not happenstance. It's not serendipity. It's there. And I had the good fortune earlier in my career when I was at Chase, we did some experiential stuff with 11 Madison Park and a guy named Will Guadara, who if you ever read the book Unreasonable Hospitality, this is a great plug for Unreasonable Hospitality, you should read it. He was there, and a lot of the concepts in that book he would just talk about, right? The idea that he would walk around. So 11 Madison Park, by the way, was a high-end restaurant in New York City. $1,000 dinners and 11 courses and blah blah blah. But he really made a name, and the staff made a name for being really focused on the experience. And so he would literally walk around the restaurant, or his general manager walk around the restaurant. They'd keep an ear out. They'd listen to what the customer said. So he's got some great examples. Like he's walking around. This is a high-end restaurant. This is a $1,000 plate restaurant or whatever it is. And one of the managers heard one of these guys were visiting from Germany. They never had a hot dog. I'm paraphrasing, so apologies, Will, if I'm getting the story wrong, but the spirit's there. They heard, the German guys didn't get a hot dog. Right? They I wish we're leaving tomorrow and we never got a New York City hot dog and we're going to miss that and we're not going to have a chance. He ran out went to the hot dog vendor at Washington or Madison Park. Excuse me, they were in Madison Park. Went to Madison Park and got the hot dog. Came back, plated it, the ketchup, like, and brought it out as a fancy thing, and like blew these guys' minds, right? Like it seems like serendipity.
Earned the customer for a lifetime in that moment.
Exactly, because and it goes back to all the stuff we've been talking about. You listen, you're in tune, and you're paying attention to the details. And yes, that can feel like serendipity. Okay, he heard it and then he went. But you have to enable, like that. The deliberateness here is enabling your staff to do that, knowing how to solve a problem, and going and doing it. And these moments become like magic, right? And by the way, it's not just about when the experience is good. Like, because we, again, an old life, I worked in loyalty at Chase, and we talked a lot about loyalty from a credit card and loyalty from a travel. And, if you think about credit card, a lot of it's travel and dining. It's actually how you show up in certain moments of peril, right? Like think about it, right? Your flight's delayed, right? Is your brand showing up with a free drink? So, or a lounge access, so that the customer can actually kick their feet up in a horrible moment and actually transform a moment of peril into a moment of promise, right?
Right.
Or are you sitting back and just letting it happen, right? And those that do the former, change that moment, are the ones that win, and that you'll never forget that, right?
You also said something at the start of the episode is like, don't just design for foot traffic, design for feeds, right? If you're designing an experience which is brag worthy, which makes someone pull out their phone and post about it on their Instagram or their TikTok, or just, you're giving them status and affiliation. And we spoke about this. Seth Godin said this, right?
Yeah.
Every human being wants three things: status, affiliation, freedom from fear. If your brand can give someone that status and affiliation, those bragging rights, like, hey, I was a part of this cool experience. You weren't, haha.
Yeah, I mean, no, you're 100% right. And even that moment in the airport when you have a delayed flight, you get a drink, or you get a free meal, you get lounge. 100% that someone's going to post about that.
And you're the only one who got that treatment,
right?
While everyone else is waiting in line. Suffering.
Yeah, everyone else is sleeping on the seats in the thing, and you're posting about that, man.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a funny story again. It just goes back to the 11 Madison Park days. So we basically were able with 11 Madison Park to get an unknown artist at the time to do a residency at 11 Madison Park. A guy named John Batiste. Maybe you've heard of him.
No.
So he was the Late Show musical guest. He's Grammy winner. He's Oscar winner now.
Wow.
But we got to meet him in 2015, and he just got the Late Show gig during the course of that residency. Announced it, so it was phenomenal. But what we were able to do for our Chase card holders was $5 tickets. And I was very skeptical, quite frankly, in the beginning, because I said, "Oh man, we need to charge. I mean, we should be charging $100." And Will, you're the man. Will Guidara, he said no, and John Batiste said no. This has got to be $5. We got to let everyone that can go. It's got to cost a little, so there's friction. We won't let everyone in. That way, it gives a little bit. They have to register beforehand, so that way we can get the audience. But everyone can come, and when we did that week, and we did a bunch of cool events. I mean, we could spend a whole podcast talking about those events that culminated really in a the New Orleans style second line march from Nomad Hotel to 11 Madison Park, where they cleared out the dining room and had a concert right in the restaurant. It was unbelievable. Unbelievable. But everyone was posting about that. Everyone felt like they had status. Everyone felt like they were on top of the world. And who got the credit? Chase. And we blew. I mean, this was 2015. So I don't even think you could do this now. But we blew up Chase's socials. Like people even at Chase didn't know what we were doing. It was unbelievable. It was fantastic.
How many people were there?
So I mean, so the actual people that were there for the whole thing, maybe a couple hundred.
Okay.
For the week.
So intimate, exclusive access.
Exclusive.
Yeah.
But and this was the test, right? This was what we wanted to figure out was, can we get virality? Can we actually do something that's bigger, that feels bigger than the, a couple hundred people in New York? And we did. We got thousands and thousands of posts and shares and likes. And, it was It was unbelievable. And it really was because, back to your point, people felt like they had status. And when you do that, it ladders to the brand that enables it. And so it was a fantastic learning from that perspective.
And you're suddenly elevated beyond just 50% off the price tag.
That's right.
Sales, none of that.
No, none of that. Yeah.
You're bigger.
Yeah. Nobody asked me how many rewards points they were getting from their Chase card. Nobody asked me about a sign-up bonus, right? It was, oh my gosh, can I get more of this? Can I get more access like this? And if you look at the where Chase and Amex and all these guys are heading, I mean, it's all about experiential type loyalty. And I mean, even now they're running ads with Michael B. Jordan that talks about that. So it's just fascinating to see how that's transforming.
Oh, that's incredible. This reminds me of a campaign that I did about 10 years ago in India. We were working on a plus size apparel brand. Okay. Now this is back in the early 2010s when body positivity was just about becoming a thing. But when it came to fashion and ramp walks, you still had the size zeros, the size twos, right? Very distinct beauty standards. So we pitched India's first plus size fashion show. Okay. And the response was phenomenal. We held auditions. Okay. You had to sign up via social to submit an audition reel. Then you come down to Mumbai to give that audition and you walk the ramp. We gave about 50 people the chance to be on the ramp. Now these are all, plus size people. So it's not your typical model.
Right. It's not a typical runway model. Yeah.
Not a typical runway model, but to be able to give someone that experience and then they had their families in the crowd.
Unbelievable.
And the social media, again, people talking about it on social, the customers the relationships that we built in that event that continued through the years. Then those people went on to become today they are actual social media influencers. But the opportunity to just love your customers and give them an experience that they would probably never have. That builds such a strong relationship. I'm glad the brand agreed to do it because they saw the vision, right? But even when pitching it, we didn't realize what KPIs should we be pitching to the CMO. So question to you, Jinx. When you are advocating for an experiential marketing stunt or an activation, what KPIs should you be looking for that justify the costs? And this is a costly affair.
Right.
That justify the cost or that investment.
Yeah, no, it's a great question. And you know me, I tend to steer away from vanity metrics like likes and
views.
Our views.
Yeah.
But I think, what you have to do is, we've talked about this before, there's no difference between brand and performance. The only difference, and I've said that, and I will say actually there is a difference, that what's typically called brand media, which I would lump experiential and things versus performance, is the time horizon is just longer, right? Nobody does marketing of any sort to not sell something, unless there's some commitment or legal reason, right? It's all for the revenue in the end of the day. It's just maybe the more I think about it, the brand is just a longer time horizon, right? Maybe that's why we call it brand, whatever. So what I think about is leading indicators to that revenue, right? So I don't love vanity metrics. But to say that, back to the point, but the Chase example, someone's going to sign up for a Chase card because of that in that moment might be also the wrong way to go. So then you have to look at things that are the leading indicator, right? Are you getting traffic to your owned assets, right? So your website, your app, your mailing list, whatever that is, that's probably the place I would start, right? Think about what the customer action is that you want, right? And yes, you want to sell, but there are things that lead up to that. And likes are probably too superficial and reshares or whatever, but sales are probably too deep, right? For what you're talking about. So you have to think about the right proxy metric. And to me, the action is probably something like that. How many emails did you get? How many more visitors to the site that you get? How did you pique interest? Again, to drive revenue, maybe in that longer time horizon.
All right. Hey, thanks for those insights. any closing thoughts?
Yeah, no, I just say like, look, you made a great point where it's very hard for the mere mortal that's not a Google or an Apple to get funds to do the experiential stuff.
Right. It's expensive.
It's expensive. So, the tip from this is, one, you don't have to do this, what we talked about in the upfront of these like completely crazy immersive experiences. But if you think about what we talked about, that it's not, that's driven for the feed, that's driven by the detail, that's driven for the magic. You could do that kind of at any scale and at any budget. You just have to think hard about it and think about how it aligns with your brand. And I think that to me is the takeaway for the mere mortal that doesn't have an unlimited marketing budget.
Yeah. And you can start investing more in Gen AI creative, repurpose that money, and that suddenly opens up funds for you to maybe explore new avenues like experiential marketing.
Hey, I love it. I love tying it back. I love it. You're absolutely right. Where again, we've been talking about how you have cost savings on certain creative development, et cetera. That's not just money that necessarily you should put to the bottom line. Maybe it is, but you should also think about how you reinvest that. And to me, you're exactly right, where it's how do you have much more high impact media, and its base case, like experiential, is almost the highest impact media you can get if you're willing to spend.
That's true. All right. This is the Art of Commerce. Thanks for watching. Close us out, Jinx.
Click that subscribe button, click that like button. Also, let us know what topics you're interested in, and let us know how your company is doing experiential, or really focusing on the details, listening to your customer, and being postable.
Yeah.
I would love to hear about it.
All right. See you in the next episode.
See you guys.
This is The Art of Commerce, featuring conversations on creativity and conversions. If you found value in today's episode, follow the show, leave a review, and stay tuned for more insights for the minds reshaping modern marketing.